Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Please subscribe, guys. It really does help with the algorithm, and a thumbs up never hurts as well. So we've got Bitcoin here, guys, on the daily, trading at 57,500. It did breach 58,000 last night. Let me throw a Fibonacci on here. You guys can see we did breach the 0.786 right up here. So the Bitcoin trend looking fairly healthy. Of course, next stop, all-time high, and then what are we to expect? Well, that is the next question. Are we going to see resistance, heavy resistance at the all-time high? Are we going to see it rebound back to the 0.786? Or is Bitcoin going to blast past its all-time high, sending it to new heights? Everybody is poised, just waiting for this. I'm going to bring up the altcoin market, and I've got this also on the daily. You can see up here, just kind of hovering in and around the 0.786. The altcoin market almost did reach its all-time high, close to 1.49 trillion back in early September before coming back down. Now it's reaching back up to the 0.786, so we got to keep our eye on this as well. Let's take a look at the total 3 market cap too. So the total 3, again, guys, for those of you who do not know, it is the market cap minus, so all the altcoins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we can see up here, we have even surpassed up here for the total 3 market cap, we have even surpassed the 0.786. So altcoins slowly picking up steam. And when I bring up XRP here, guys, XRP trading right now at about $1.13.5. Positive movement to the upside. Of course, XRP still making those higher lows, higher highs, and this is going to be one of those coins to be paying attention to, especially if some kind of SEC Ripple lawsuit announcement is announced during this last leg of the cryptocurrency bull run. We've also got Michael at Val5 Links posting this. Now, this has to do with a strategist saying that VeChain could also be on the horizon to rally upwards of 2,600%. So this is from Justin Bennett here. One under-the-radar altcoin has the potential to embark on a swift 20x move or more in the coming months, according to crypto analyst Justin Bennett. The closely followed strategist told his Twitter followers that decentralized supply chain management network VeChain could be ready to see $1.60 under one condition. Of course, we need to see Bitcoin break its all-time high. So what he's looking at here is the traditional market cycle of Bitcoin breaking that $65,000 mark, and then altcoins following after that. He says VeChain may even be able to make it as high as $3, which is a 2,627% rally from its current price. We haven't really taken a look at VeChain too much on this channel, at least price-wise as of late. Even just throwing a Fibonacci here on the VeChain chart on the daily, we can see that after this big move here, we haven't seen too much in terms of gains for VeChain. Past the 0.236, and now just kind of creeping up to the 0.382. It's trading right now at about 12 cents. And it doesn't show it on this chart particularly. No, this is not the chart I was looking at earlier, but if I bring up VeChain and bring up the Bitfinex exchange, you can see when VeChain was initially launched back in 2019, it opened up at a price of about $1, and then as many coins do, slid all the way down, and this was the bear market. So it was finding sturdy support down and around here, right, in 2018, 2019, and then of course again in March of 2020, that big pullback before the first leg of the rally. Now it's kind of rolling with the other altcoins. So if I were to take, and I mean, I know this was technically where VeChain had its all-time high, but it was upon its release, so the technicals on this may not be as accurate as if we were to have more history on this chart. Nevertheless, the thing that I noticed that was interesting, if we were to take the Fibonacci from this $1 mark for VeChain here and bring it all the way down to the trough here of the bear market for VeChain, we can see that despite that, this is kind of a manufactured all-time high for VeChain, we did already find resistance here in the 0.236. So this could, in fact, give us a good sense of where VeChain could possibly go. And what we're seeing here, and I don't doubt that this could happen at the top of the bull run, is a top price for VeChain in and around $4.23. Now, of course, that's not suggesting that it will go that high. However, now that we do have more price action on this chart, now that we did see that this high resistance level did base out at the 0.236, we are coming back down. Of course, VeChain, significantly lower than its all-time high. We are seeing some potential there. So, wanted to thank Michael for bringing us that. I also saw this from BondCrypt XRP. G7 finance leaders highlight CBDCs. So, the CBDC train has certainly left the station. Central banks around the world have increased their efforts significantly in the last few months for the development and issuance of central bank digital currencies. Yesterday, finance officials from around the world's 7 advanced economies highlighted some important guidelines for CBDCs. According to a recent report published by Reuters, G7 finance leaders praised the recent innovation in digital money and payments, but also highlighted few regulatory and public policy issues. So this is the narrative that is going around. We love CBDCs, but we need to make sure that we have enough control over CBDC so that this thing doesn't get out of hand. You can see how that conflicts with typical cryptocurrency narratives, right? The traditional idea of cryptocurrencies was, a currency for the people. It came out of that 2008-2009 economic collapse. Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin, of course. We had the Occupy Wall Street movement at that time. And so now we are emerging and a new financial framework is coming to pass. Any CBDC must support and do no harm to the ability of central banks. So this is their first and foremost, what these G7 country leaders think should occur to fulfill their mandates for monetary and financial stability. We affirm that any CBDC should be grounded in our long-standing public commitment to transparency, yada, yada, yada. Why am I not surprised? Well, it's interesting because I also saw this from BondCrypt XRP. Now, this is Sir John Cunliffe. He is warning that cryptocurrencies actually might spark the next market meltdown. Let me read you guys a little bit of this. Sir John Cunliffe, Bank of England's Deputy Governor for Financial Stability, shared his thoughts on the possibility of a crypto crash causing the next market meltdown similar to the 2008 global financial downturn. So here's a speech he gave at the SIBOS conference, the annual conference that is put on by SWIFT. Here's what he said. Ultimately, that a massive collapse in the price of cryptocurrencies, one that closes out to almost zero, is a plausible scenario that may become a contagion that would spread across the globe's financial sector. Here's the quote. When something in the financial system is growing very fast and growing in largely unregulated space, financial stability authorities have to sit up and take notice. They have to think very carefully about what could happen and whether they or other regulatory authorities need to act. Sir Cunliffe has been part of the Bank of England's push for acquiring and leveraging crypto and blockchain technology in an effort to counteract risk posed by crypto on the country's financial stability. In late April last year, the Bank of England disclosed that it had been actively exploring central bank digital currencies in an effort to revitalize its financial services sector post-Brexit. So, what we have here is something interesting, I think. And I think we have to take note of some interesting points to this. So we have the G7 countries saying, look, we're going to usher in central bank digital currencies. This is part of a new financial framework. And but we have to be careful, right? That we have to be able to do this right. We do not want to get this wrong. From previous research I've done, we also know that, these G7 countries want to, there's this idea that having control over the currency now, ushering out the era of cash and ushering in a new digital era is going to be more about controlling, and some may go a step further and come up with more nefarious possibilities for these CBDCs. I'm not going to get into that right now, but let's just take this at face value for today. CBDCs, right, ushering this in, G7 countries all thinking this is fine and good. Now we have Sir John Cunliffe of the Bank of England, guys, and he's basically saying that we should be worried about the cryptocurrency market because, and I'll just bring up Bitcoin again here, we should be worried about this because this could cause the next, or rather this could spur on the next financial collapse. Now, of course, we know cryptocurrency goes in cycles. We know that cryptocurrencies could indeed tank after Bitcoin finishes this next cycle. Bitcoin will go up to new all-time highs. Altcoins will follow. Profits will be taken. The crypto market could crash 80, 85, 90%, what have you, and the cycle begins again. Some are of the opinion that we could actually see a prolonged bull market, but I'm not going to get into that today. Let's take the scenario that we've seen in the past where we will see a Bitcoin go to new all-time highs, crypto market market crashes. And, Sir John Cunliffe here at the Sibos conference, let me add, which is put on by Swift, putting out those warning signals. We better be careful about cryptocurrencies. Yet he's not really specifying which cryptocurrencies. Let's also not forget, many people in the crypto industry and many governmental officials as well, and heads of central banks have said cryptocurrency has its place. And, some have said a handful of cryptocurrencies will thrive and survive, while most of those ICO garbage projects will fall to the wayside. And so 99% of cryptocurrencies probably trash, whereas the 1%, they will do very, very well. Let me bring it to your attention again. Sir John Cunliffe from the Bank of England. We know the Bank of England is already a Ripple partner, already is looking into XRP for cross-border transfers. And I don't know, they may actually be using XRP right now. Please do correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments section. Nevertheless, this connection, don't tell me he does not know about Ripple and XRP. So this warning here put out at the Sibos conference run by Swift, maybe a bit of theater, considering, if you have the wherewithal to understand cryptocurrencies, you probably have invested in the right thing. Cryptocurrencies with value, XRP, VeChain, Algorand being just a handful. So it could be a little bit of theater, a little bit of drama coming from Sir John Cunliffe. I want to keep going though. Panda, Ripple, XRP posting this, guys. Now this is big. Ripple has just joined the Digital Pound Foundation, designating a path for a CBDC forward future. This is also happening in the United Kingdom, coincidentally enough. So Ripple today is excited to announce that they are joining the Digital Pound Foundation, a nonprofit focused on the development and implementation of a digital pound in the United Kingdom. Ripple, as a foundation member, will be represented on the board by Susan Friedman, head of policy. Ripple's participation in the foundation continues our ongoing work engaging central banks globally on technically and policy issues related to central bank digital currencies. So here's a quote from Susan Friedman. We are excited to support the design and implementation of a digital pound in partnership with the Digital Pound Foundation. The foundation will help advance the UK's goal to build a more inclusive and sustainable financial system. Note down here, the foundation believes the digital pound will underpin the UK's transition to an innovative digital economy and society. The implementation of a CBDC alongside other forms of digital money will ensure the UK's place in the emerging global digital landscape. Right, but just back here, Sir John Cunliffe was warning that cryptocurrencies are going to crash. Sir John Cunliffe, Bank of England's Deputy Governor for Financial Stability. These things are not coming together congruently. If on the one hand, they're warning of a cryptocurrency crash, yet on the other hand, Ripple is now noting that they have just joined the Digital Pound Foundation, helping to consult on a CBDC in the UK. What this tells me is that there are going to be two classes of cryptocurrency. Essentially, again, let me reiterate, the ones that have the value, the ones that have utility, and ultimately ones that are trash. Be careful what you're investing in, guys. I'm going to keep moving. So with regards to that Digital Pound Foundation, Leonidas here pointing this out. Ripple joins the Digital Pound Foundation, designing a path for a CBDC forward future. And so that was just from the Ripple Insights blog. And so here are some of the foundation members. We got Billion, CGI, Electroneum, Ripple, Quant. Associate members, remember Accenture, an early partner with Ripple. We got Avalanche as well. Then we have the partners, the Realization Group, and Herbert Smith Freehills. So interesting to note some of that extra information there with regards to the Digital Pound Foundation. Wanted to thank Leonidas for posting that. So what do you guys think? Do you think the train has already left the station? Remember when Rosie Rios mentioned that in a statement? Well, Digital Asset Buy here, bringing this to our attention now. This is Stuart Alderati, in-house counsel for Ripple, over 35 years of legal experience with expertise in banking, regulatory affairs, and complex litigation. And so he is actually reacting to a tweet here. This is the tweet, guys, from PRX at PRX113 here on Twitter. The train leaving, and he's reposting this latest Ripple commercial that was just dropped a couple of days ago. I don't know if you guys ever checked that link in the description of the video when I talked about this. If you saw the video, very slick production values, really kind of hitting the point home of where the future of finance is going. Well, he retweeted out this Ripple commercial. The train is leaving. And guess who ended up liking the tweet here? Stuart Alderati. Under his likes here, liked the tweet from PRX. And I can confirm if you go directly to his Twitter page, under likes, you guys can see he did indeed like this tweet. And if this train is indeed leaving the station, guys, how close are we to that final pump to get XRP really up and out of this holding pattern? I always like to make it very, very clear that there are two markets, guys, that we are focusing on during this bull run. There is the speculative market, for one, the one that we are getting all excited about, the one that all cryptocurrencies are following because of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin price goes up, then people speculate on Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin tops, people take their funds out of Bitcoin and pump them into altcoins. That's just giving a very simplified description of how this works. And even in this spec run, okay, with no real world utility, we are projecting that an XRP can go upward anywhere between $10 to $15 per coin. So we've talked about models that demonstrate this at the top of this Fibonacci on this particular chart at the 4.236. It is printing a potential high of about $13.77. Other models are suggesting an even higher price. But guys, it's going to be that real world utility that gets XRP beyond. That will take time, but we are seeing inclinations that it's already starting to happen. G7 countries ushering in a new financial framework. We have Sir John Cunliffe of the Bank of England already warning of a cryptocurrency crash, yet the bank that he works for is Ripple enabled. We know that that is confirmed fact. Meanwhile, Ripple just announced that they are joining the Digital Pound Foundation in the United Kingdom. Coincidentally enough, almost taking the wind out of the sails of Sir John Cunliffe's statement about cryptocurrencies. So in my opinion, those in the know definitely know. I can't wait for that train to come around the mountain and meet me on the other side. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.